This week's Look at Local Sports sponsored by 315 Local Bakery and Diner, Alexandria Bay.
Hi there, folks. Welcome back to the podcast as we talk local sports with you once again. And Rob, once again, special thanks to 315 Bakery and Diner, Alexandria Bay, for supplying us with their sponsorship, and we're still waiting for the food. Les hasn't, for some reason, we haven't seen Les
since we sent him. Yeah.
Since we sent him, so I don't know what happened to the food. I'm sure it's coming, but
DoorDash, Shockley, yeah.
Yeah, actually, he's done a great job of producing. Les, thank you very much. He's our Swiss Army knife, if you will, of doing everything here at the station.
MacGyver,
he is. He is. You should see what he could do with a toothpick. It's unbelievable.
And a stick of gum.
A stick of gum. We are down to the nitty-gritty in state play, and probably going to begin with the girls' side and with Lafargeville taking a 19-2 record into their game, coming up against a team that always seems to be in the state Final Four, South Courtright. Your thoughts about that matchup coming up on Saturday?
Always a familiar name, South Courtright, either playing Harrisville or playing, Hammond or playing Heuvelton.
Oh, yeah.
So South Courtright, always a staple in state playoff action. Lafargeville with a great game in the Section 3 Class D championship game. Sackett's Harbor gave them a run early on. It was only a 1-point game after one quarter, but Lafargeville pulled away their bench too much. Of course, Emmeline Barton and Margie Barton and Chloe Gafford, all too much in that contest. I think this could be the year that Lafargeville makes a run to the state Final Four.
That would be nice, because actually this is probably going to be their best chance with this group.
Yeah.
Because, with graduation coming up and so on and so forth, the mix in the roster will change a little bit for next year. But over the last couple of years, the Red Knights have done a great job of playing.
Coach Steiner's done a great job up there.
He really has. A good time to go in and ask for a raise.
Yeah, exactly.
Coach Steiner, this might be a good time to do it. Up in Section 10, Lisbon still alive. Allison Bell leading that team, and they have a game coming up against Stillwater. That's coming up this Saturday, 1 o'clock at SUNY Potsdam, so the folks up there won't have to drive far to see Lisbon in action, and they're having an outstanding campaign.
Yeah, and that should be an advantage for them having that game at SUNY Potsdam, not far for them to travel. And as we said, the home court advantage, especially in state playoff action, always a big deal because you don't want to be traveling 2, 3, 4 hours to play your game.
Yeah, also alive up there on the girls' side, Malone and Chateauguay, both in action coming up this weekend. And Malone has had an interesting season. They're very, very tough. They've beaten some good teams along the way.
Yeah, and they got kind of a gift in the offseason by getting one of the better players in Section 10.
Olivia Simser.
Yeah.
She ended up playing for Malone this year. And
Herman DeKalb last year,
Herman DeKalb last year, and she's done a great job of leading Malone deep into state play, so that's pretty impressive.
And it was a big win for Malone the other night down at Fayetteville Manlius against Utica Notre Dame.
Yeah, and one interesting thing, Bishop Grimes, who beat Canton.
And beat General Brown as well.
Beat General Brown. They're making a run in what will be their final year as being known as Bishop Grimes, because they're going to be closing the school down in Syracuse.
Right, and they're all going to be moving to Bishop Ludden, so, they're a little extra driving force for both the boys and girls teams to make a run in state playoff action.
Seems like they're on a mission. By the way, I only put these on for cosmetic purposes, not because I need them. Let's talk boys state basketball, and you got to begin with 19-4 Sackett's Harbor. They're taking on Morris. That game in Binghamton on Sunday. Your thoughts about the Patriots?
Sackett's Harbor, a great Section 3 Class D championship game over the weekend against Madison. Madison's big guy was averaging double-double, 20 points, like 15 rebounds a game. Patriots defense locked him down along with their point guard, who was also averaging 20 points a game. And Sackett's Harbor, defense carried them in that contest to their Section 3 Class D championship win, along with Marcus Castine, who had 22 points in that contest.
Yeah, it turned out to be a low-scoring affair, and really going into that game, I'm thinking to myself, this is going to be a tough go for the Patriots against a team that's coming in loaded. But Coach Robbins once again able to work the X's and O's and did a great job of a game plan.
And watching that contest, Madison Center, I believe, 6'6", probably 240, 250 pounds.
Yep.
I mean, he was a big kid. And every time they tried getting him the ball, Sackett's had him double or triple teamed, and that was the key in that contest. He ended up fouling out midway through the fourth quarter, and that was the difference in that contest.
I thought you were giving my statistics. Not so much the 6'4" as the 240 pounds. When you think Sackett's Harbor, you think Harrisville.
Yeah.
Because there's another D school that's had a lot of success in postseason play, have gone deep, state title in states. They are taking on Loudonville Christian Saturday. That game is at Hudson Valley Community College, a noon start. Harrisville coming off a win over Bolton, a 25-point swing in that game. They ended up winning the contest, something like 53-38. They pulled away. Impressive win by the Pirates.
Coach Colony always does a great job up there, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, one of Sackett's Harbor's losses this year is to Harrisville, and those two teams could be on a collision course to meeting deep down in the state playoffs. So keep an eye out for that.
And by the way, my wife's cousin is Joe Schroed, one of the players on Harrisville. So congratulations to Joe. I know the rest of the family is excited about that, and hopefully
following him along.
Hopefully, he'll continue to contribute to the team. We had him on the other night scoring a basket. So
there you go. Congratulations.
It put me in good stead with the rest of the family. So thanks, Joe.
You'll have a good seat at the table for holidays.
Oh man, it'll be great. So those are the two boys teams from the North Country that are still alive. Let's move to hockey. Boys State hockey, OFA, with a state semifinal game coming up Saturday in Buffalo against a pretty good Queensbury team.
Yeah, and that is going to be at the Harbor Center, which is right next to the arena where the Buffalo Sabres play. Early morning start for that one, I believe, 11 o'clock start. Yep. So, congratulations to OFA making it to the state Final Four, and good luck to them hopefully bringing home a state title this weekend. They've had a great season. I believe they've been ranked second in the state for a good part of the season.
Yeah, and this is Coach Frederick's last season as coach. He's got a son, Tegan, who's a big scorer on the team, and the Frederick family, both father and son, leading that team. Hopefully to glory this coming
Wouldn't that be a great way to go out?
It would be.
Winning a state championship. You can't go out on a higher note than that.
Let's talk about a couple of other teams. One, as of this taping, still in action, and that is the Jefferson women, who won their first game at the Nationals.
Yep.
And we're taking on Hostos.
As you said to Coach Jeff Wiley, the cupcakes of
Hostos. So we don't know what'll happen in that game, but even if they end up losing that contest, still a successful season for Coach Wiley and the team.
And they still continue to play. I believe they have like 4th, 5th, and 6th place games. So even if they lose to Hostos, they will continue to play. But I was impressed with their win against the Community College of Rhode Island. They won that game, I think it was 70-50, a 20-point win.
Sure did.
When they played the Community College of Rhode Island in the consolation game of the Onondaga Classic back in November of this year, JCC lost to CCRI by 25 points. But big key in that, they did not have one of their key players for that contest. They came into this game healthy, deep bench. The freshmen have had a lot of experience, and it paid off. And I believe they've played Hostess this year too.
Yep. So it'll be interesting to see what transpires there and how far they go in the tournament. But either way, another successful campaign for the Jefferson women. Congratulations to Coach Wiley and the rest of the team. By the way, as we speak, Syracuse men's basketball has just turned the ball over again.
Yeah.
You know what? He's already gotten the vote of confidence from the athletic director.
Sometimes that's not the best thing to
So
have.
Adrian Autry's going to be back next year to coach, and he's got Melo's son coming in as one of the recruits. Man, they just were so disappointing this year. You thought they would have done a little bit better than what they did.
The turnover from last year to this year was the key. And, that's the key in college basketball for the most part. I mean, most of these teams are one-year teams now with the NIL deals, players going different places, getting more money at different schools and all. It's not like it used to be where you had teams together for 3 or 4 years, and those were the teams that made the deep runs. I mean, Syracuse this year, like you and I talked several times, J.J. Starling, we could name him. Other than that, we had no clue who was playing.
It was tough to figure out the roster this year for the Orange. Hopefully they can do some stuff through the transfer portal and get some new faces in to stock up that team a little bit. Little did we know that it would become a football program at Syracuse.
I know. Well, John Wildhack announced a $50 million initiative for NIL, not only for football, but for basketball. And when he did give Adrian Autry the vote of confidence late last week, the one thing that he said that was interesting is he said, we got to fix this. So I think next year is a make or break year for Adrian Autry. If it's the same results next year as they are this year, next year at this time we're going to be talking about who's going to be the next head coach of Syracuse basketball.
Yeah, and you got to think that it affected attendance.
Absolutely, yeah.
I mean, as far as the people wanting to go to the games and stuff like that. I mean, it had and that of course
the money talks there.
Money talks, and if not, then you're going to be out the door. You gotta get the people in there, and you gotta supply them with a good product.
I believe this was like one of the bottom 5 years for attendance for Syracuse basketball since the Dome opened. So I mean, that says a lot.
Yeah. Well, we're going to take some time off until the spring season begins. Practices, by the way, are supposed to start, I think, next week.
Monday, yeah, I believe.
So folks will be getting their teams going, and with the weather breaking the way it is, it looks like some of the folks that rely on getting out, onto the diamond or onto the lacrosse field will get that opportunity earlier rather than later, which is good news for local teams.
Yeah, and Les already, he's already got his suntan lotion on, and
Les is going to be. We're not going to see Les for a few weeks. He's actually going to be anchoring the morning newscast.
That's right.
For a while. So that's we're going to miss him. Not as much as we missed the food he was supposed to pick up, but we're going to miss him. But like I say, I mean, he's the man that does everything here. You ask him to do weather, he does a great job at weather. Which is probably, he does everything well, which is probably the reason I haven't asked him to do sports. I'm looking at job security, Les, okay? I need this money. Have you seen the economy lately?
Oh, boy,
man. Well, thank you very much, Rob.
Thank you.
We'll keep track of what's happening, and we'll see you in the not-too-distant future. Take care, and don't forget to go to 315 Bakery and Diner in Alexandria Bay and tell them that Rob and Mel sent you.